got ecoed, and then continued on struggling on their T side. So that's what I'm going to be looking for tonight from Reliable. But we are going to see them start on the CT side, have at least some advantage in that. And here's a little bit of a roster rundown on CT side for Reliable. Lex, Lightworker, Marcolodon, Sniper Assassin, Robbie, and on T side for Savage, Hades, Professor Chaos, Dumore, Valens, and Glorans. And this match is live. This match is underway. Pistol round is on. And we're going to see Savage send 4 of them in enter. Hades going T connector. We may be seeing a down ladder outer take here in just a second, as that looks like what we are going to be seeing as Glorans has dropped. However, still Dumore, Professor Chaos, and Valens sitting above the ladder, not making any aggressive play quite yet. Lightworker exchanging bullets with Glorans at ladder train. Hades finally peeking out mid, getting spotted by Marcolodon. Bullets exchanged there as well. No damage dealt, however. And the terrorists are still waiting for something. Haven't executed in any form or fashion. Their 3 players with bomb are starting to make their way towards inner, where Robbie and Sniper Assassin are playing a very, very passive setup. And that's going to be counterproductive from them as smokes come out, flashes come out. That's going to give a free bomb site to the terrorists, and bombs should go down here very, very shortly. Sniper Assassin, Robbie now making their way up, waiting for the teammates to rotate. And there's Sniper Assassin with 1, all ready to open up the round a little bit before the rotate. The CT's Dumore equalizing the numbers with the frag onto Lightworker. Dumore with the second one. Glorans trying to spot Robbie through the smoke. There's going to be a spot through the smoke. Gets the frag as well. Glorans trying to make it 2. Marcolodon already pushed up in his sight. He has to work with Dumore, and a beautiful shot from Mark. A beautiful flick. One tap with the USB. But Professor Chaos and the rest of the terrorist team savagely taking down Reliable Gaming to end the round. Savage is up 1-0.
Yeah, the turning point was, I mean, just the intertake was good in that Savage managed to hold on to their smokes and flashes until they actually went for the full execute, and the 2 guys in didn't really manage to get enough damage off to sort of forfeit the plant. That strat really should just have played right into Reliable's favor, because it was just a slow build, it was a slow burn, and nobody rotated, nobody flinched, and the whole point of it was to get people to flinch or try and catch people out of position in yard. Glorans and Hades doing the work. They got outshot. I mean, that's the easiest way to put it. And sometimes that's all a game can really boil down to.
Hades, I'm assuming, saving up for the op, as he has just the USP that he picked up last round, and or a deagle or anything, so he has, pressing tab, quite a bit of money saved up as compared to his team. And here comes the inner execute once again. The AKs versus the pistols of Reliable and Professor Chaos. Going to start off things in a good manner with a frag on the Sniper Assassin. Glorans helping out as well with 2 huge 1 Galils. Lightworker trying to get something on Hades, but Hades with the USP too strong. Here's 1 more on the flank. That's Super Lex. Very last player for the CT still standing. Hades, she'll get him in just a second. Hades will get him here. And Savage with a flawless anti-eco. 2-0 now.
Yeah, honestly, just as a comment to what Hades did, I really like that play, honestly, on round 2. If you win, just sticking with a pistol and armor, whichever pistol you feel most comfortable with. It doesn't even have to be, it could be a CZ, it could be a USP, it could be a P250, a D, what have you. It frees you up to play in different ways, because a lot of times on anti-ecos, people tend to play scared after that first death. If the first death is a guy with a pistol who's scouting, and whose job is essentially to either get kills, die, or get information to suss out some stack, it's fine. It shouldn't be an issue. So that's entirely viable in my book. Higher level competition where everyone can just sort of insta headshot you, you could argue otherwise, but I don't think it's not, to me, it's totally viable.
It worked out flawlessly, and in the process, he's able to pick up a P250, which he still carries this round. Nothing else bought. Sniper Assassin getting the trade on the Glorans above ladder, but bomb has been planted outer. The 4 terrorists all split up, watching all the entry points. Valens watching that flank T connector, gets 1. Does he know Marcolodon is there? Spots him now. It's going to be a battle, and Marcolodon's going to get the advantage. Making it 3 versus 3. Robbie waiting to go down ladder. Don't know if he knows Dumore is there. Probably expects someone. Professor Chaos there as well, getting the frag onto Marcolodon, who's coming out of T connector. We do see Sniper with the Galil picked up. Maybe, yeah, it looks like he is going to be the one saving now, as he gets a need kill as well. We'll be able to hold on to that Galil, but it's 4th round. Not the best going to have 4th round, but I mean, at least it's something.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of times when you get blown out the first 2 rounds, or you sort of have a harder time getting kills, just getting in sort of the rhythm of killing things helps out just from a purely psychic level. You're more into the rhythm of the game, and now, as an added bonus, Lightworkers have to buy a rifle. The big turning point is going to be whether or not Lex can effectively leverage his op to sort of just slowly pick apart whatever Savage's plan of attack is.
Definitely, and as you mentioned, Lightworker getting the Galil, and then Abe holding out the Sniper Assassin, opens the round up with the, Auto Sniper, Sniper Assassin said his name, with the Auto Sniper. But Bomb is still going to go down in this smoke. Professor Chaos taking on Mark as he boosted into CT Heaven. 4-on-4 now. Valens getting Lightworker, who pushes through the smoke. Galil on Galil battle. Valens wins it. Super Lex with the op. Robbie sneaking around trying to get it. Professor Chaos will get one. Can he get the second? That'd be huge, but he doesn't. 1 versus 2. Make that 2 versus. That is devastating to the economy of Reliable Gaming.
And it's kind of a bit of bad luck for Reliable. And sort of just a poor choice at and poorly timed plays from certain players. Lightworker deciding to push through smoke at the wrong time and doing 95 damage onto Valens. It was pretty inexcusable. You're just trying to penetrate a whole wall of people without accomplishing anything, essentially. Your teammates aren't close to help you out. But, again, that's just one of those strats where the best possible play for the CTs, wait for the smokes to fade and then re-execute. You're going to lose maybe 10 seconds off the bomb timer, but then you're going to have a bunch of terrorists caught out of position with nothing to hold you off except their guns. You coordinate that, you have a good chance of winning.
And to make matters even worse, Valens has picked up the Auto Sniper that was on Sniper Assassin's back. And we see another Outer execute, but this time, Lex going to open up the round with the frag on the Glorins. But T's once again have bombed down, control of the site, and have fallen back, playing post-plant spots now. And they are just demolishing the counter-terrorist force as they slowly push into the site one by one. Only one gun lost on Glorins. Savage winning yet another round.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say there. It just really wasn't terribly coordinated stack by Reliable. So, I mean, this is where they have to sort of buckle down, because 5 rounds CT side, once you forfeited those, it's kind of hard to build back on. They only have one scoped weapon on Sniper Assassin, also known as Abe. As his usual alias.
Spider 925.
Yeah,
the man with many names. Yeah, he likes to rotate through him. And CEVO, he is Sniper Assassin. And he does have that auto sniper, and here we see Savage working towards enter this round as 4 of their 5 players going towards enter pretty quickly. Robbie is alone holding that as Sniper Assassin quickly rotates, so Robbie just waiting through the smoke, able to get one as they come out, just running through that smoke, able to get a second as well, so he's done his job holding off that bomb site, at least delaying that rush a little bit. Sniper Assassin good on the rotate, getting a frag on Dumore, who's coming out of upper. Mark Littleton has pushed through the site, gets Glorins from the side, knows that last one is on the ramp. Hades, however, even though they know that knowledge, able to get a frag onto Lex. Mark Littleton finishing up the round. Reliable has their first round in their back pocket. Maybe they can use this as some sort of momentum. We'll have to see.
Well, I mean, this is a really dangerous round for Reliable right now, is that if they lose this, their money resets. And it would just be absolutely catastrophic. The big play of that round, obviously, was just Robbie holding down lower, and, you know, you don't really expect the guy to play right behind the smoke on an execute, but that's what Robbie did, and it worked out brilliantly. He actually almost evaded dying, but he eventually got caught.
And we're just going to see Savage go back to their quick outer take, smokes down, but this time, Sniper Assassin dropping the bomb. That's definitely going to be trouble for Savage, as not only do they they're used to this strat, getting bomb down fairly quickly, and then just playing hold the bomb timer. Bomb is going to go down, but with no cover, as soon as it's dropped, Mark Littleton is able to pick off a teammate, turn around, get the final frag. And so yeah, Sniper Assassin coming up with that huge first pick. I would like to say one reliable the round.
Oh yeah, no, I'd agree. The biggest difference from that yard execute to the one on round 5, or round 4 rather, my bad, is that they didn't allow themselves to just sort of start spamming the smoke haphazardly. They seemed to have a little bit of panic on that first gun round execute, where it was just people were wildly spraying through smokes, hoping to clip someone in the head. Luckily, that time was a lot more calm and precise in terms of just targeting people out instead of sort of just gambling that you're going to get a spray down.
Lex not choosing the op as he usually does, choosing the auto sniper instead. But once again, we see Savage working fairly quickly. This is about the quickest I've ever seen a terrorist team work this map. And it's worked out for them so far. Can it work out for them again this round? They need to get back on track. They already have 5 rounds. And Mark Littleton, Robbie as well, just holding down this outer bomb site. It's now 1 versus 1. Mark Littleton onto Hades. Does he know where he is? He has an idea. He's taking Ector Hell. Fakes the bomb. Hades going to come around the corner. Up on the train. Mark now knows where he is, but Hades knows he's off the bomb. Hades trying to escape. No damage dealt, and Hades repeat, gets the 1 tap. And Savage back on track with another round.
And I hate to harp on one player, but one of the things that's actually really hurting Reliable right now is that on these quick executes, the guy who's actually closest to all the action really isn't getting a lot done. Their 1 yard player, like dead center, is Lightworker, and he's just getting completely flushed out by smokes and flashes. I think it should be fairly obvious right now to everybody Reliable that we're 8 rounds in. Savage doesn't wait much past the first 30 seconds of the round to execute, or peak. So you just have to start adapting to it.
And we've seen this strat work before. Send Hades, T-Connector. Send the rest of the team above ladder. Not quite sure if they're going to go down the ladder as they've done before or take inner where it's just Robbie. But now Sniper Assassin rotating over there. He only has an M4. No ops or any scoped weapons on the map. Here's the Superlex pushing all the way up Ivy and gets Hades. Waiting T-Connector. So at least gets man advantage in favor of Reliable and quite a bit of information. Knows they're not Ivy. Knows most likely they're not T-Connectors. So suspect that inner rush. Lightworker pushing up ladder a little bit. Sniper Assassin and Robbie still holding this inner, watching opposite spots as they should be doing. Savage about the slowest round we've seen them work. Valen's falling back to T-Connector, maybe watching that flank. But I think they're waiting for another sort of push. They still have 40 seconds to work with, but not too much movement for them. Dumore and Glorns working brown halls towards upper. Now back towards lower. Still have yet to be spotted. Smokes and flashes are now coming out. Here comes the inner rush. Here comes Glorn. Out the ramp, Sniper Assassin gets that first entry. Robbie holding things down with a frag on Professor Chaos. 4 versus 3. This rush has been held off. And here comes the bomb on Dumore's back. Will go down, but not before Mark Ludon takes down Glorns. So Dumore has to hold this site all by himself as Valens is just watching the flank. Pretty delayed. Dumore still in sight. Spotting Robbie. Robbie getting or that's actually Lex getting the huge frag. That could have been costly had Dumore gotten that frag. Robbie off the bomb. Valens not peeking. Now peek sees Lex. Gets Robbie. Oh my god, this could be costly. 1 versus 1 situation. Bomb timer ticking down. Lex has to get on it. No time working for Lex. This is round over. This is Savage. Round win. Lex is not going to escape with 1 HP. He's going to die to the headshot. P2000 of Valens. Savage another round.
That is tough to watch. Robbie is going to stick the defuse, and for some reason his model is clipping on one of the little magical ladders at the far end of the train, or just something. There aren't even ladders there anymore. I have no idea what he's clipping on. But that's why you kept hearing a defuse sound if you were in Robbie's view. That's just absolutely brutal. But again, Savage obviously trying to prove me wrong. They had Hades peek out roughly around like the 130 mark, and then they just sort of stopped and waited. And there goes Hades just getting a pick out yard.
So just change up the tempo constantly. Savage, Reliable Gaming trying to change up their tempo as they are on an eco, just trying to push. They push 2 inner. Lightworker able to get 1 trade, but being traded off immediately himself. So now it's just Lex and Robbie with the CZ auto. No nades, no defuse kits, no armor. Just that $300 pistol in hand. Hades here and Robbie pushed up. Robbie caught out with his knife. He's going to go down. He does go down. Lex trying to sneak his way up the ladder. Drop down to 74 HP. Hades going to peek out mid, catch him, and we'll get the frag. Just once again we see Savage not messing around on their anti-ecos, playing it flawlessly, not losing too many guns.
I mean, what you're really seeing is just Reliable sort of running into people piecemeal and just not coordinating in a push. It's like a bad game, as Simon says right now, and Reliable just keeps guessing wrong. They have to start accommodating for Hades peeking wide mid in the first 20 seconds. He's done it pretty much every round. They're going to have to start just sort of not, there's just so many rough YOLO plays going on all across the map right now that Reliable just sort of needs to take a deep breath and win out because they need these last 5 rounds more than anything.
Yeah, Savage has already won the half. Reliable going to try to ease the damage that has already been done, but Savage and Dumore and Hades getting 2 early frags. Once again, we see bomb go down, end that smoke. The Terrorist not having to push out too far. Just stay in T-Connector is Hades, and he's already playing post-plant position. And then each member of Savage getting in on the action and winning them their 9th round. This is hard to watch in Reliable's sake.
It's breathtaking to see Reliable sort of just break down from what their hallmark is peeking together, playing together, and they consistently die in isolation. They're letting people run through smokes, and then when they try to run through smokes to counter that YOLO play, they just wind up getting leveled in the face. It just looks like people are guessing wrong. as they're now forced to eco again, which will most likely turn it into 2-10 in favor of Savage, and it's bleak.
Yeah, definitely a game that is quickly slipping out of the hands of Reliable as Arn and Eco and Hades. Like I said, Savage not messing around on their anti-ecos, just getting the frags they need to get, and there's Hades opening up the round on the Cypher Assassin. Professor K is just turning around, getting the frag on a Marklodon. This is not missing practically any shots is Savage. They are on point right now with their aim and with everything they're trying to do. And Robbie's probably going to shortly soon find out that dreadful fact as he is 1 versus 5 situation with the CZ Auto being spotted. Able to get 1 frag onto Hades. Going to be able to pick up that AK, but with the huge economy that is built up for Savage, you know they're going to be on the chase. And this is going to be tough for Robbie to save this, as he's going to run into Auto Sniper. 2 more. Dead. 10-2 now.
Yeah, and they're kind of... Here's the thing. If they win the next 2, and Savage gets no plans, you can pretty much guarantee that they'll be on eco for the final round. So, you win 2, you get the 3rd for free. That's the way it's looking right now. That's maybe one silver lining for Reliable at this moment. But they seriously need to reconsider how they're dealing with Yard, because the problem is Savage is actually doing a really good job of turning that usual pattern for the smoke taking Yard, which is most people throw the smokes, plant, and just stay still. What Savage is doing is pushing through those smokes after they throw them and repositioning and just trying to go for kills. And that's what you have to do with that, as Robbie pushes up, gets a nice spam kill and up crawls.
But he's quickly running that 3 on the terrace. He needs to fall back if he needs to at least call and wait for a rotation coming over. No rotation is happening, but it did spot quite a few members who are spamming him down to 25 HP. Professor Chaos and Glorans making their way down ladder now. Hades trying to come out T-Connector. Lightwork able to get the frag, but Mark Lennon falling to Glorans, who is out T-Connector. As Glorans able to get 2 frags. Coming out from that ladder room. Dormo with the Auto Sniper getting one himself. Now it's a 2 versus 2. Reliable has to come up on top with this round. Robbie and Super Lex working it. Lex is able to get 1 and a 2nd, so finally we see a huge play coming in for Reliable in these last few rounds, getting their 3rd.
You hear from Robbie, this is the call, and I'm glad no one rotated, because if Robbie called for a rotate, that just would have been completely out of this world. He sees people, but they're not actually executing. If they start running down lower and attacking him, you call for the rotate and you fall off. He's fighting them because he knows they're not going to be plowing down. But you don't compensate with a full inner push by playing that close to ladder with almost like no cover and no smoke there. Reliable walked a very thin line to get that round win, and we're going to have to see if they can deal with this smoke execute Yard finally.
And once again, here comes a quick execute. 2 more with a beautiful shot on the Abe to trade him out, and it will be going for the plan. But here we have Lightworker waiting right next. Actually, he's dead. Glorin's able to push through smoke and get him. Hades with another one. Mark London is at the back of the bomb site, able to take down Dumore, but it's a 2 versus 3. This is definitely looking bleak unless Robbie can come up with 2 huge frags. But this a blind spray of Glorin's going to get the better of him. And Mark should shortly fall here as he has 13 HP and a 1 versus 3. Glorin's with the 3K. Round number 11 for Savage.
And again, when you're just getting run over and you're literally just getting 1 shot, no matter where you are, if you're on Reliable right now. The remedy for that is, I don't know. I honestly would think the best, to me, the best possible play right there is you know you're getting completely whipped when you play close. Play passive, play back, play together. I keep seeing people dying in isolation, and it's frustrating the ever-loving crap out of me. But we're going to be sitting on the last round of the half with, Reliable getting whatever they can.
Swag 7, Nova, CZ Auto, 5-7, and M4s on the back for Reliable Gaming. Not paying off for them so far. Mark Lennon with the only frag for them in this round. 2 versus 4 now. And there's Glorins with just a flick headshot on the Lex. Robbie now the last 5 member with the M4. Savage has a pretty damn good idea. He is Z, and that is where he is. Able to get 1, making it a very doable 1 versus 3. It's Professor KS on 1 HP. Glorins with 2. Valen's the only one who has some sort of HP. The only one that isn't bleeding internally. But that's not going to matter as Robbie pushes through the smoke. Glorins waiting for it. Gets that frag. So not obviously the best half for Reliable on CT side. Only getting 3 rounds.
So...
But Savage, they're on point. Their aim is just incredible right now. They're not missing shots. They're not giving Reliable any sort of chance with missed shots or missed opportunities.
There are a couple of things, though, that are slightly frustrating if you're just from a spectator's point of view. Just Reliable was relatively inflexible in their CT setup. it still confuses me as to why they kept having people so far up yard when you know the smoke execute's coming. You don't have to play right in the smokes. You don't have to push and chase people to get the kills. You didn't have to do that. No one was forcing you to do that, but apparently something made them believe they had to. But now we're staring at a T pistol and a T half where Reliable needs to pull out 13 rounds. It's doable, but it's very much an uphill
They need
climb.
pistol. They cannot allow any flaws on this pistol round. They need this to at least get them up to 4, hopefully 6, as long as they do not get ecoed. And there's Sniper Assassin starting things off in the right way with a frag out of Professor Chaos. But a great molly coming in from Savage to completely block off the rush to back halls, forcing them to go towards Hell, and that's where they have a lot of players, Glorns and Hades, getting frags. Hades with a one-tap onto Lex as he's falling off the train. Sniper Assassin unable to win the 1 versus 2 as he goes down almost immediately behind his teammate. Savage, 13 rounds already.
Yeah, and I mean, just after that sort of T half, they're really, really feeling themselves. Glorns managed to go spend 10 of his 13 bullets, killing 1 reliable player, and then as Lightworker rushes into him, he spends the next 3 gooshing a guy behind him, and then 2 tapping Lightworker in the face. It's just, the story is right now, Savage is hitting their shots really, really well, and Reliable is just running into them. It's tough out there.
And the Ego strat for Reliable, drop 4 down ladder, try to get a quick plant, but that's going to be by Reliable. And they lost 2 guns, which I'm actually surprised I didn't even catch that as it all happened so quickly. But being up 14 rounds, they don't need too much of an economy built up. They just have to get 2 more, and then this is over.
This is just one of those matches where the pace and the tempo are just entirely in favor of Savage. They have set the tone from the first round with a minor hiccup here and there. They're just, I mean, the easiest way to describe it is just holding W. W mouse 1, get the headshots, move on with the round. It's breathtaking, really.
Hades, round 3, the offhand hand. A good molly coming out for Valens as my game lags. The Super Lex pushed right through it, trying to get the frag. We'll see here in a second as my game is frozen. Here we are, we're back. Super Lex trying to get anything with that CZ auto, unable to get anything. Mark Ladon with the frag through the wall. Professor Chaos, Glorns again. Professor Chaos, Glorns, everyone getting in on the action. As Savage with this defuse will be at match point. Good thing
it down.
Reliable able to buy.
Oh,
only good point. Only good point to say.
Oh no! I mean, I think right now I'm ready to move on to sort of the post-mortem. And I think I don't know if most of the guys in Reliable are feeling that way right now. I don't know if they're counting themselves out. I know I wouldn't if I was playing. I still think you can win at any moment. But the big issue was, as we now see 2 ops coming in for Reliable. Again, you're playing way too pressed yard when they're just flying out and getting kills. You're playing into Savage's strengths instead of sort of trying to compensate for what their strategy is. And it murdered them on CT side. And
are you talking about CT?
Oh yeah. Well, okay. I mean that's the story. That's really what counts. Because T side, what are we gonna really talk about? They lost pistol. You're gonna lose those 3 rounds most likely on this map unless you get lucky on an eco. And we're gonna see if they can pull off this gun round. I would not count them out of the gun round, but on the whole, it's just the momentum's been entirely in Savage's favor because they, Reliable's essentially playing right into it by playing aggressive. As Hades picks out Robbie, Valens drops Abe.
Yeah, Robbie looking in the wrong place at the wrong time. 3 versus 5, backs against the wall. We're going to try to make this a little more doable with the frag onto Valens. My auto director wants to show me Robbie's dead body for just a little bit longer, it seems. As Dumar and Glorin start the cleanup, start the trot around as this match is over, unless Super Lex can come up with an amazing one before, but he won't. Savage with the route, 16-3. Reliable still has another match later on this map again, but they have to have some talks with each other about what was going wrong, what they can do to fix it.
Oh yeah, but I think running into that kind of T side on train is it's not common. It's far from common.
Absolutely, I've never seen a team work their T side that